2 years ago, I told you how improbable that it was that I was even standing here on stage as the president of National PTA. Raised by a wonderfully engaging mother, she gave me the ingredients for such a leadership position. But leading the National PTA, never in my wildest dreams when I became active in my local PTA, I didn't do it for status. I didn't do it to move to the council, district, or state level. Like I said earlier, heck, I didn't realize there was a national PTA. I was just a simple, engaged father who wanted a great education for my children. I want to stop right here. I need to recognize some folks before I continue. On this long journey, I recognize my wife, Karen Thornton. Please stand. Thank you. I'd like to recognize my son, Trey. And I would like to recognize my mom, Estelle Thornton. And I also had another guest that I want to recognize throughout. We have a great PTA advocate with us, Ms. Anitra Atner. Please stand. She is Miss New Mexico 2015. She's a principal and great supporter of PTA, great ambassador for us. So thank you all for being here today. There are so many people that I can thank here today. And I don't want to leave anyone out. But I just thank, again, the staff for their support. I thank the officers and the board for their support. And the millions of advocates, parent advocates, that have done a great job at supporting a mission. I'm a firm believer that when preparation meets opportunity, great things can happen. I'm also a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. A closed mind may not understand it at the time. In fact, a closed mind may never understand it. But a mind that is open to the notion that the same people doing the same thing the same way is never going to produce the results, which will easily understand that there's a reason and a season for everything, including my presidency. When I took office as National PTA President, I did so fully prepared to shoulder the responsibilities and the burden that naturally comes with leadership. Being different, being unwavering in the principles and the mission and the duties of PTA. I took over the iconic brand that is PTA, and at the time when PTA was essentially at a crossroads. It was a time when strong leadership was needed, a leader with a strong vision. 2 years later, I stand here in front of you, National PTA, having traveled a road that was sometimes tough to hold, but charted a course that leaders such as Dr. Martin Luther King, Eleanor Roosevelt, and President Harry Truman would be proud of. I'm going to take a pause right here to talk about these folks. You know, Dr. King talked about conscience, about doing the right thing. And when we look back in the 60s, the battles that we had in the 60s, we're still having those battles today. And courageous women like Eleanor Roosevelt that was responsible. We talk about the Tuskegee Airmen and the lives they saved and help us win a war. Because that courageous woman, she made a difference in the lives of everyone. Cesar Chavez, another great guy that stood and fought for the rights of workers in California in rights and for education. Very important. I will tell you that we leave as a team PTA in a better position and a better platform. As we saw at the convention this year, we had over 400 vendors and sponsors. That doesn't happen by accident. That is a concerted effort by a great team. It is not an accident that National PTA is $3.2 million in a better position today. That didn't happen by accident. It is no accident that we have positioned, the board has positioned us to refinance our home, to secure a place for our future, to ensure that we can continue to do our mission focusing on kids. It's no accident. It is no accident that we've moved from 280 million media impressions to this year a total of over 4 billion in the last 2 years. For people that, from a business standpoint, don't understand that, that's $3 million worth of advertising to our association with a message that is resonating with America. And that's very important. I'll leave you this weekend with the hope that the National PTA has a new appreciation in the fact that America is not a monolithic place with monolithic people, with monolithic ideas. Let me say that again. I'll leave you this weekend with the hope that National PTA has a new appreciation of the fact that America is not a monolithic place with a monolithic people and monolithic ideas. As I conclude, I close by thanking my supporters who have understood and appreciated the fact that my number one mission and purpose throughout my presidency was to do the right thing. Each of every one of my supporters know who they are, and I thank you. I close by thanking my family, who I love, cherish, and will continue my vow to protect, because they are the absolute most important people in my life. I pledge to you that I will continue to uplift all the values of PTA and the moral and ethical standards that define an individual. So no matter what my naysayers may say, simply remember, I leave you with the sage words of a great and wise prophet who said, 4 things support the world: the learning of the wise, the justice of the great, the players of the good, and the valor of the brave. Be wise, the great, the good, and the brave. Our children need this. And I would like to say one more thing. I would like, as you all go back to your PTAs around the country, we are a non-secular organization, but I am a person of faith, and that faith has sustained me through everything I've gone through over the last few years. As a non-secular organization, Mahatma Gandhi once said, he said, "I wish I would have met Christ before I met the Christian." When you go back out to your PTA local units, councils, districts, state, ask yourselves, would I rather people have met PTA before they met me as a PTA leader and member? I am Otha Thornton Jr. I'm the 2013-2015 National PTA President, and I'm an advocate for your children. Thank you.